Hello, my name is Anthea and I'm going to share with you our research findings from research that we conducted in the northwest of England, both during and after lockdown, about the experiences of people living with dementia and their care partners. It was a two-phase study, and the first phase was conducted in the summer of 2020. Before COVID, we ran a series of in-person groups in our purpose-built dementia hub, including music groups, one with music and hospital and care musicians, and another with the Halley Orchestra. And we also had ran a Good Life Club, which was a gardening group, and our Dementia Associates panel, which was our forum, decision-making forum about the work that we did at the university. Now, living well with dementia and retaining independence is challenging at the best of times, but obviously COVID posed even greater challenges as people began to lose access to vital support networks and services that promoted their well-being and independence. And as with many others, we had to close our doors in mid-March of 2020 and move our in-person groups to virtual meetings, which we also supplemented with a WhatsApp support group and one-to-one phone calls for those who were unable to engage in digital platforms and other technologies. We designed a small-scale rapid response study, which we conducted over the summer of 2020. We recruited all our participants from the groups that we ran at the hub, and we conducted telephone or virtual interviews using different online platforms. And we also invited our participants to complete lockdown journals. Our findings from phase one were that our participants reported feeling lonely and isolated. They were experiencing low mood and also loss of confidence in their abilities. The lack of opportunity for social engagement and enjoyable activities was really being felt by our participants, and they reported that this had a detrimental impact on their mental health and well-being, and that was both people living with dementia and care partners. We also asked people about their views on re-engaging in person, and we found quite a marked difference in opinion. So there were some people who had a desire to just get on. So for example, as long as I can get out and meet people, I don't care. Because at the moment, as I said before, to me, this is not existing. Whereas other people felt that there was a real need for caution. For example, COVID-19 is really going to have to more or less disappear before I can venture out very far. And this was from a participant who was also shielding at the time. So from our phase one research, we concluded that returning to in-person groups were going to require a real careful consideration about the balance of different perceptions of risk and also individual preferences, but also that meeting in person was essential to participants' perceived well-being and sense of social connectedness. So as restrictions began to ease in the UK, we got ethics approval to conduct the second phase of research, which was to explore people's experiences of returning to meeting as lockdown eased. We designed this study with our group members during the virtual meetings and our digital communications throughout lockdown, and we agreed on an initial meeting off-site. And this was held in a really lovely garden, a Royal Horticultural Society garden, so it was quite a special first meetup. And then we began to have our meetings with reduced numbers in line with our risk assessment, so we adhered with social distancing measures back on site. We used observation methods during the outing and also back in our regular venue at the hub. And we also asked our participants to complete mood questionnaires both before and after their on-site meetings. And we did this over June and July of 2021. Our findings from this phase of the research were that participants were really excited about returning to in-person meetings, but not just because they wanted to be with each other. They also wanted to be outdoors and they wanted to regain some of the structure that they'd lost in their lives. We were just existing, but now we're living again. We have that routine back in our days. We rely on this, on being together. The relief is overwhelming. Participants also reported feeling really safe and comfortable, but this wasn't just about the physical environment of our dementia hub, but also because of their involvement in the decision-making prior to meeting up again. I don't have any safety concerns. Well, really, I think that's because of all the talking and planning we did beforehand. The thing that people were really struggling with was their desire to push the dementia agenda forward in a world where everything is standing still. I just don't feel useful anymore. You want to make a difference more than ever now, and we can't really, can we? So our conclusions from our research were that it was very important to consult with and be informed by our members about what they perceived they would feel comfortable with in returning to in-person meetings. And that it needed to be a process, this return to meeting, that was designed together with people living with dementia and their care partners. And it was very important to find a balance between ensuring individuals feel supported and safe, and in particular, respecting different views on risk-taking. But overall, we conclude that for the future, that more needs to be done. Our participants wanted to continue to be involved in advocating for change, and the ongoing lack of opportunities for them to do so was a real cause for concern. And that, to us, is the challenge for the future. Thank you.